But that would be your normal shape.
No.
So what would your normal shape be?
Round to the right, massively.
Okay, but left to right, but much more normally than that would be. That would be more typical.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that one actually setting off right of target.
Yeah.
And shaping that way.
Yeah.
So I've got a slightly different video for my channel today. I've got Dan along with me, who helps me with my web design and my YouTube channel. Really been struggling with driver, so we've made a few little changes that have absolutely blown his mind, and this just could be the biggest game changer that you're gonna watch. Okay, go one last one for me, and then we'll talk about what you currently do, and then most importantly, what we need to change to get you hitting the ball better.
All right.
And again, that one's setting off a little bit right.
Yeah.
Not curving too much.
I mean, I've had some before where they just, it's the bounce though. So if I get it onto the fairway and the ground's quite solid, the bounce, because it's spinning so much, just...
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is it's not so much that it's spinning a lot, it's just the angle it's coming in at, and the angle it's hitting the ground at, it's just going to kick excessively that way.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so let's talk about why you create the shape of shot that you do.
Okay.
So, if we look at the last one as an example on TrackMan there for you, so we can see there you've swung at 97 mile an hour club speed, ball speed 140, so that's good.
Yeah.
Carried 222, rolling out 250. And that one, not excessive shape, but we can see that club face at 7.7 is open or pointing to the right, and the path is moving out to in or left 5 degrees.
So that means that the face is open?
Yeah. So when we're trying to hit a straight shot, which I think most golfers try to do, in order to hit the ball straight, you have to get the club pointing at the target at impact, and the path of the club needs to be moving dead straight. Now, what we see with you, every single time, your club face is pointing to the right, and then the way you're trying to compensate for that is by swinging the club more to the left. Now, sometimes the club face is only a little bit open to the path.
Yeah.
So the ball sets off a little bit left and actually ends up pretty decently. The third one, though, the club face was more open than the path. So then the ball set off right of target and sliced. Right. So that would generally be your bad one.
That's why it's carrying through that way. Right, yeah.
And the beauty with you is you are dead consistent with it.
Yeah.
Now, what makes it hard, though, is on the course sometimes, you'll start aiming further and further left.
Oh, I do, yeah? Yeah, I do.
Now, the danger with that is your brain knows that the target's there.
Yeah.
So when you swing back, you start leaving the club face more and more open, and the ball sets off at the target and shapes more and more.
Right.
Very occasionally, and this is you not realising it, you'll aim way left, square the club face up, and probably hit what feels your best drive of the day.
Yeah. And it goes
and just miss way left and maybe lose a golf ball.
That's one of my most common shots where I'll drive right every single time, every single tee I'll drive right. And at once I'll set up in the same position and all of a sudden it'll go exactly where I'm aiming, which is left, because I set up naturally to counter the curve.
Playing for the one that you feel is going to happen.
And it will go straight into the trees.
Now, I don't mind, say, playing with that left to right shape.
Right.
But you do need to understand how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I think you're more swinging and hoping it's going to happen, rather than saying, I'm controlling the club to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first thing we need to work on with you is that ability to control that club face a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to aim straight for now. So you're going to aim the club head at the target, get your feet in position, but when you swing now, I want you to try and get that club face, however you do it, to point left, to be more closed. Okay, so instead of being there, I want you to be more that way as you hit the golf ball.
Right.
Okay, so what we should see, if you manage to get that club face left, is a ball that starts to shape more from right to left.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
Right.
Now, I've struck that one out the toe, which has helped.
Yeah.
And the numbers on TrackMan might show the club face as being open, but that's more because of the curve on the face, okay? But you can see that would be a very different shape of shot than you've hit.
Yeah.
So I want you to do a few practice swings for me.
So keep it closed.
Yeah, so you're going to set up nice and straight.
Right.
But when you swing down, I want you to feel like you're going to get that club face closing, however you want to do it.
So, like, I feel like I'm really trying to close it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, as a good example for you, obviously you're left-handed.
Yeah.
And good tennis player.
Right.
So if you were hitting more of maybe a backhand topspin shot, what would be the feeling you'd get with your left hand? Yeah. So you feel how that left hand rotates more through the shot?
Yeah.
That'd be a great potential feeling for you in your golf swing.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so when I'm lining up to it, I'll line up the same way. So currently, when I'm lining up to it, I'm almost opened the club face already.
Yes.
And I'm trying to counteract it, which is sending it off. It's like...
I just think you like a lot of golfers, you kind of steer the club a bit through the bottom, trying to keep it at the target.
Right.
But you don't actually get it at target.
Yeah.
It's a little bit open.
Okay. Right.
So what I would say, whenever you're trying something new, if this shot's not great, you can blame me, because I'm asking you to try something different. Okay. But we're going to hit some shots, maybe 3 or 4. You give me feedback as to whether you feel you've done it. The golf ball won't lie, and we'll see what the TrackMan numbers tell us.
Right. So I need to feel like, so aiming straight as in?
Straight at the 125 yard rugby post.
Is that class as
That's
about
absolutely perfect. Lined up great.
Right, and I want to get the feeling of?
That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
So we can see much straighter.
Yeah. Very low, wasn't it, actually?
Yeah. Now, maybe the ball was a little funny there, but the face to path minus on TrackMan's closed.
Okay.
So that was 1 degree closed, as opposed to being kind of 6, 7, 8, 9 open before. Now the good news is, first go you did that great.
Yeah.
Obviously that felt a bit different to normal.
Yeah.
So let's see for a few shots now how consistent you can be with that for me. There we go. There's a very different shape for you.
Yeah.
A little draw.
My ideal shot, if I was to line up here, if I go where the mat's aiming, so I imagine the mat is aiming straight towards the fairway. Rather than aiming like that, I would set up like this.
Absolutely.
Naturally. And then my shot would become... So that, to me, if I got that straight, would feel perfect, but that was...
And to be fair to you, what you've done is you've managed your game before.
Badly, yeah.
Because if the ball's going to miss right, there's no point in aiming in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But the sensation you've created at impact prior to what we're working on is your body would say it's going to, hopefully going to be a fairly straight shot.
Yeah.
The problem is it's not getting the club face back square, the club face is to the right. Now your brain's not fixing the shot with club face. It's fixing it by swinging more this way, which is making the shape worse.
Okay.
Now we've had you aim straight, get that feel with your lead hand of the club rolling over a bit or closing a bit more, and instantly we see a different shot. Now whether we count it as a better shot, depends where we're going to be aiming. But again, 2 from 2. Let's go again.
How many times I can do it.
And see what we can do. But it will take you concentrating on doing this
See,
to produce it.
Naturally, instinctively, I just lined up to the ball.
And aim left.
Aiming left. Because the club now is aiming,
But remember,
it's just embedded in me.
Is a pre-swing thought. So we're going to aim the club, align your feet. Once they're in position, you can forget about those. Then you've got to control that club face better.
So my club's straight now. Slightly to the right, that one.
Yeah. I'm thinking, though, watching those first few shots that you hit, though, that's a very different bad shot. But look how small the numbers are with face and path.
And the first one was 7 degrees open.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to one of your first ones, your first one was a good one, but it was 7 degrees open. Yes, the path's improving because of we're aiming straighter. But now your club face is coming back in a better place. Your subconscious isn't trying to compensate during the swing for lack of club face control.
So the biggest change there then is just, trying to close it, I suppose. Because I always thought that golf was my lead hand, for some reason. I thought that my lead hand would come this way. So instinctive. I don't know what I was trying to do, but it makes more sense to feel that I'm rolling over it rather than...
I mean, a great feel for you would be hold the club up in front of you like a baseball bat, swing it like a baseball bat, and tell me what you feel your hands do.
Way?
Yeah. And through. What do you feel the club do when it's in front of you? Do it again.
What do you mean?
Come on. Do you feel it rotate?
Now that you said it, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, that's not what you were doing in your golf swing. You would have been swinging back there.
Ah,
yeah?
Okay.
Not letting the toe of the club overtake.
So I was holding it open.
Yes. It won't have felt you were, but because you're trying to get the ball straight, like most golfers, golfers are obsessed with kind of straight lines.
Yeah.
Thing is, there isn't many straight lines in the golf swing because it's a circular motion around the body, and we need to get that club face closing more to impact.
So I was holding it open then?
Yes.
So I was...
Absolutely, that was your old swing.
And then it goes off left. Right.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, let's get you in again. Okay. Again, good movement.
Quite low, but...
Yeah, and that's just the contact point on the club face. So that was low and out the heel.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, massively
a little bit more exaggerated because of strike.
Yeah.
But you're doing your end of the bargain much better. So what you've got to remember as well is when you're doing a slightly different movement pattern, your brain's not used to feeling where you are at impact at the moment.
Yeah,
so it takes a few shots to find the middle of the club face.
Yeah.
Equally, you're still fairly inexperienced as a golfer. Yeah. So when you're moving the club 45 feet round your body at 95 mile an hour, and we're 3/4 of an inch off the centre, that's still an amazingly accurate movement. Do we want your bad one to be one that's just down the left side of the fairway? Absolutely. Because currently your bad one's over there, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So again, get in, focus on that lead hand closing through impact.
Yeah, so for me, it's definitely the roll that.
Yes, definitely.
So when I'm exaggerating it, when I go onto the course in a week's time, should the exaggeration become instinctive then, or do I continue to?
No, you're going to have to focus on this for a bit. Right. Even though you've not played a lot, that old pattern for you is what you naturally want to do.
Right.
Now, at the moment, this might feel quite exaggerated.
Yeah.
I would say when you go in practice and play, if the exaggerated feeling starts curving too much, try not to exaggerate it as much.
Right.
Right, so now we can see we're definitely starting to get the club face in a very, very different place.
Yeah.
We're also seeing that path is starting to be very, very different. Yeah. So now you're not swinging 7-8 degrees out to in. Yeah. Now you're swinging much straighter. Now it is showing a little out to in.
What does out to in mean?
So the club's moving towards the left. Do that with an open club face and see where the club face would point.
Like that?
Yep, and now swing from the in. Right, see where that club would be at impact.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that might be... Do you think that might be why you were worried about that camera?
Yeah.
When we first set it up? Because if you'd have actually done what you were trying, you would have been very, very close to hit. And this would have been a very, very short video. About that. So, get yourself aimed nice and straight. Get that club face closing.
So it's still a really alien feeling to be aiming.
Absolutely.
Straight towards target.
Oh, that's a little bit out the toe, which has exaggerated the shape.
Yeah, that was horrible.
It's a horrible contact, but it was a good movement.
Right.
Yeah?
I suppose it's the complete opposite of what I was doing.
Absolute opposite, yeah? Now, you've just made a really important comment there that a lot of golfers make. So you've just said how kind of aiming straight and doing that feels very alien.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm going to change the word alien to different.
Yeah.
Yeah? The key is if it doesn't feel different from what you were doing, we haven't changed anything. Now, the key thing is, do we understand why it feels different?
Definitely.
We're aiming in a different place because we're committing to a different movement. So if we're going to aim even a little bit down the right-hand side, and then focus on closing that club face. Yeah, so I'm now aiming right of those posts.
Right.
Close the club face. And I've not done it. That's the danger.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, it'll be a poor result.
Yeah.
But having said that, you've already demonstrated previously that you don't always do the same thing every time. Actually, aim a little bit right even on this one.
Oh, see that then? I just set up then.
Yeah. So remember, that's attention to detail, isn't it? So point the club slightly right, then fit your body in, and then focus on that club face closing.
So slightly right.
Perfect.
About there.
Yep.
Feels different.
Okay.
There's the one.
Now, to be fair though, will you get it wrong sometimes?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I've just demonstrated getting it wrong.
Well, yeah. Mine was slightly worse.
Well, I would argue we'd find yours. We might not find the one I've just hit. So, but the key is,
I'm still
when
trying
you're
to close the club face.
Yes, when you're practicing, it's a great time to overdo things.
Okay.
Because if you can overdo it, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Then you can dial back.
Okay.
If you don't exaggerate it enough, you'll never do it.
God, it changes so much.
See how when you feel less comfortable?
Yeah.
So now let's go back to aiming straight,
Okay.
but still closing that club face. Because you're finding it harder to focus when you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, it's fine. Longer term, we'll be able to get you to aim right if you want and curve it back.
Yeah.
But for now, aim straight.
What was supposed to happen then? So let's say I hit a good shot then.
Yep.
The ideal shot would have been, it would have set off right and come left.
Yes.
Right.
And that would have been the draw.
Okay.
That every golfer apparently really wants. There we go.
Yeah.
Now, had we aimed right on that one,
yeah,
that would have been in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, it's a massive difference when I feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I suppose, although it's a big change, it's not an uncomfortable change versus aiming right.
Yeah.
For some reason. So is that me aiming right now?
Yes. Now, ignore where you're aiming and focus on club face.
Okay.
I know it's not quite shaping back to target, but
so how come that was straight then? Why was there no shape on that?
Club face won't have been closed enough. TrackMan's showing 3 degrees open, but about 2.5 degrees of that would be the strike, slightly toey. So you only got the club face back to pretty square there. That's why it went straight.
Right, okay.
Now the good news is, you've kind of just learned what the straight one feels like.
Right.
If you can remember it. But the key for you is making sure that club face is more closed than normal for you.
Yeah.
And if you don't focus on it, you will not do it because your old pattern will reappear. And again.
That was, the baseball was quite right. Because normally, you wouldn't swing that way, would you? You would let the club.
But you learn to swing a baseball bat as a little kid, and these ball and socket joints in your shoulders do an amazingly good job. Whereas golfers lean forward, think about aiming straight, think about steering the club face. That's why the majority of golfers miss that way.
Right. So
let's aim. I'll tell you what, you're in control now. You aim where you feel you need, do what you need, and let's see what the ball does.
Okay. So now, because what I would normally thinking about at my level currently is if I get onto the first tee, the first thing I think is, okay, where do I hit the ball to? Probably 200 yards most of the time if I hit it quite well.
Yep.
Second of all, I just want to get it straight. I wouldn't even consider this is going to curve and land left. I'd just go, I want to hit it straight.
But what we're seeing with you is to make the ball go straighter is a different thought and a different feeling.
Yeah, it is.
That's the key.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the ball's not going to go straight, but it's a different thought, a different feeling, and a different process in order to make that happen.
So, I'll try that right one again. And just it's a draw that I'd be trying to hit here, is it?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah?
Dear.
Now, to be fair, that was good.
Was it?
No, because you're going to say poor shot, I'm going to say great learning experience. Club face is going to be really, really closed.
That felt like a poor strike, but...
Absolutely, out the toe. So again, club face looks open, but because of strike, actually there you'd have probably been about 1 degree closed. Okay. Now, if you'd have hit that out the middle, that would have set off just right and just slightly curved back to target. But what you're able to do now because you're able to control that club face more to impact, you're able to influence the shape of the shot.
Yeah.
Therefore, you can aim where you want, control the swing, influence the golf ball, and enjoy hitting this much further and much more accurately.
Cheers very much.
Well done.
Really good, that.